difficult to deal with, you are faced in that situation where you use that ploy. You're faced by, not with, but you're faced by two people, one difficult to deal with and aggressive. Okay? One is difficult to deal with and is very aggressive. Yeah? And the other one is softer and conciliatory. Conciliatory, Conciliatory. So the idea is that you become so afraid of the hard guy. The idea is that you become so afraid to the hard guy. So there's this guy. There's a nice guy. Who's the nice guy here? The softer. Yeah? The softer and conciliatory one. The hard guy is a vocal and aggressive one. Okay? But the idea is that in that environment, you become so afraid of the one who is so aggressive. And then you concede. You concede. Whatever they say, you just say, yes, yeah, we agree. We agree. You went with 4 weeks, they start shouting. You say, we can even go up to 6 weeks, it's not a problem. You see? Why? It's because maybe you becoming afraid of that other guy. So these things are done deliberately. Okay? They are done deliberately. They bring these people into the negotiation to make sure that their position is maintained. Yeah? Okay? The add-ons. Okay, and the add-ons is basic deal only is negotiated. The basic deal only is negotiated. Basic deal only is negotiated. And everything else costs more money. Cost money. It's expensive. Everything else costs money. So, what we are trying to understand here is how do you now deal with these kind of things in that environment? Somebody is shouting. Are you going just to look and accept? Okay. It's either you're going to match so that you also maintain your position. Yeah? You match that kind of style, or you adopt a contrast style. If somebody is shouting on top of their voice and you also shout on top of your voice, for you to reach a compromise, it will be very difficult. Yeah? So one of you has to adopt another style. So it's either you're going to match shout for shout, or you're going to adopt another kind of style. Are we together there? Yeah. On the add-ons, we are saying basic deal only is negotiated. What it means is that the best deals, when you're talking about best deals, we're talking about a best contract, is negotiated. Anything beyond that is expensive. If you don't negotiate for things in the contract, what else do you negotiate for? Yeah? So you have to make sure that carefully check what you are getting in the contract. If there's a counter from the supplier, check what they're countering. If Motor Angel is telling us that they are going to do it in 5 weeks or 6 weeks, why are they saying that? Check why they are countering. Yeah? Because the best deals are negotiated. The third one is deadlines. So in the deadlines is one telling the other side that the deal has to be completed. Telling the other side that the deal has to be completed by a certain time. Telling the other side that the deal has to be completed by a certain time. Otherwise, it is off. Otherwise, it is off. So the idea basically is to pressurize the other side into making a quick rather than a correct decision. Okay? To make a quick decision rather than a correct decision. So if you tell them that no, it's 4 weeks and 4 weeks is done. You want it, you follow it. Yeah? They will not make the correct decision. They will make a quick decision. You see the difference? They will not make a correct decision, but they will make a quick decision. Because if you are going to say, if you don't take it, then the contract is done, then they'll say, let's just do it. That's a quick decision. Now they will pressurize themselves to work within the confinement of those 4 weeks. Okay? So the thing that you have to do there is to avoid mentioning the time, revealing the time, specific time. Because if you do that, then you give them an idea. They may reschedule the meeting. Okay, let's go back. We have to rethink. Okay? Then there's the Russian front. Russian front. Anybody with an idea what Russian front can be? What are Russians known for? Russians, what are they known for? What do we know about Russia? Okay, so they say two choices are offered. Two choices are offered, of which one is very bad. Two choices are offered, of which one is very bad. That you choose the second less awful option. So obviously both choices are bad, but you choose the one which is lesser bad. They are giving you two choices. You choose the second less awful. Awful, yeah. Of AWFUL. AWFUL. Awful is also bad. Yeah? So they've given you the first option, which is bad, and then the second option is also bad. But you choose the one which is lesser bad. You've been given two mangoes, an apple which is rotten, and a mango which is rotten. And you're saying, okay, I'll just choose the apple. But all the fruits are rotten. You see? Yeah? So what should you do? Well, how do you deal with that ploy? They're giving you two options which are not good. So do not accept poor deals. Okay, that's what you can do. Do not accept poor dues. So we are going back to the motor engine one. So they will tell you, we'll stick to the 4 weeks. But you remember, in your what? In your payment terms, you said that you are going to pay the suppliers after 60 days. So we, as motor engine, we will stick to the 4 weeks, but you have to pay us within 15 days, 15 working days. You see there? Okay. Or they will say, pay us, we will do the job after 5 weeks, but pay us after 30 days. All these deals are bad because you said 4 and you said 60 days. Is that clear? Yeah. So they are giving you all deals which are not good for you, and you still choose the lesser bad or the lesser evil. Yeah. So you need to understand, why are they bringing this, and then why are they putting the other? Okay. And then the fourth one or the fifth one is empty ladder. The empty ladder is attempting to convince the other side, by lying. By lying that you have little to offer, so that they will reduce their demands. So that they will reduce their demands. Attempting to convince the other side by lying. So they will tell you, no, we don't have money. That's why we are asking for 30 days payment. We don't have the resources. That's why we are asking for 30 days. We don't have currently, our machines are in Zambia. That's why we are saying, give us 5 weeks. So what should you do? You know that they're lying. They're not saying the truth. Yeah? What should you do? What can you do? If you know that somebody is lying. You understand their lies. You find another person to deal with. Okay. So usually when people are lying, they have good reasons why they are lying. They have good reasons. Others are pathological liars. They always lie. They're like that. But here we are in a situation where this one is representing an organization, is representing Motor Angel, and they're telling us okay, and then they are telling us that no, our machines are broken, our finances are not this and that. Yeah, you do not have to accept explanations that do not have justifications. So So if they are saying that their machines are broken, then how did you win the contract? If you're saying you don't have the resources, but in your financial statement you showed us that you have got the money. Yeah? So remember, these are deals that are sealed or done between organizations. So don't always accept information without any justification. Okay? Last one is approval from a higher authority. Approval from a higher authority. Okay? So this one says telling the other side that anything, telling the other side that anything you agree to, anything you agree to over a certain amount will also have to be agreed back. Will also have to be agreed back at base. BASE. So will also have to be agreed back at base. So the idea being telling the other side that anything you agree to over a certain amount will also have to be agreed back at base. Yeah, like you're going to go and report. The idea being to get the other side to agree to deals. To get the other side to agree. Are you writing? To get the other side. The idea is to get the other side to agree to deals. To deals that do not require approval from a higher authority. Yeah. The idea being to get the other side to agree to deals that do not require approval from a higher authority. Okay. So it's like, okay, whatever we're going to discuss here, we also have to take it back to be approved. Okay? Yeah. So that is going to delay for you to go and get approval, and then you come back for another meeting. Why can't we just approve it? You see, it's a ploy. It's a tactic which you use. Okay? Let's go back to our Lobola negotiation. So you have negotiated, and you said from 20,000 you have reached 15,000. And then you say, okay, we have heard about the 15,000. Then we have to go back home and we seek approval. We'll come back. You know what that means? These people that are supposed to get married will be waiting for the approval. Maybe they will take 2 years. So why don't you agree there? So it's a ploy. Yeah? It's a ploy to still say they still can't accept what you are offering. You still have to go lower than that. Okay? So make sure you know who is the approving authority that they're referring to. Okay? Who is the approving authority that they're referring to? If it's somebody else who sits in the same negotiation panel, just say, but he's the CEO of that organization. Who else do you want to approve? The decision can be made right there and then. If it's a committee, you know who are the ones composing that committee. So that's why preparation is very important in negotiation. Yeah, you need to be ready to know how your opponent will play the cards. Yeah? So these are some of the tactics that the opponents will play against you. No, it will work to your advantage. Let's take, for instance, give an example that you will go for this side, like my side. Yeah. I'm waiting for an approval. Connecting the meeting with this side. So this side they have no CEO. The party is not enough for them to come up with the decision. Yeah. So it means I can even say that this meeting will not happen because I don't see anybody to make a decision. Yeah. Yes, so that will not. Because it's waste of time. Correct. That. Yeah. Then they will say, okay, we have held you. Maybe they are just coming there, they are juniors. Yeah. Like, just we have held you, so we'll come back to you on so date. It's just waste of time. So I think I'm thinking maybe we can just end the meeting. Maybe from that time, it's when you will come and the CEO, the managers are there, so that we can come up with the decision. Okay. All right. So you remember, that's a good question, actually. Do you remember in the introduction phase? What happened in the introduction phase? Introduction phase, you introduce yourself. Introduce yourself. So you introduce yourself and your position. So the other party will be now looking at who are we dealing with. You get my point? Who are we dealing with? Are we just dealing with juniors who are just representing? If you know that you're dealing with juniors, you can end the meeting right there and then to say, this is not a representation that can make a valid decision. Okay? Before you actually go into negotiation with somebody who cannot make a decision. Remember, in contract, there are some people that may not enter into a contract. Remember them? Who and who? Underaged, mentally disturbed, drunkards, yeah? So, you understand who you're dealing with first. The introduction part is very important. Know who you're dealing with. If you know that these are not the right people to deal with, cut it right there. Yeah? Some people have been represented by the wrong people. Even the same Lobola issue. Somebody just picks, fake uncles somewhere and bring them in the committee. You know what they're discussing is not who you are. You can pick those things and say, but I don't think we can proceed. Your family has got 10 people negotiating, them are only 2. You think that's a fair? It's not a fair judgment. It's not a fair environment. So those are the things that you have to know, and they will give you a heads up who you're dealing with. Okay? So those positions, the representatives that have come for negotiation will matter. Yeah? It will matter. If you're leaving Malawi to go for a negotiation of a deal in Dubai, and you've got the minister, the principal secretary, the director, and the procurement manager, that's a powerful negotiation team. Yeah? But when you take a procurement clerk, a cleaner, driver, and a manager, go for negotiation. The moment you just start mentioning your names and positions, they will know, we're not here for a good discussion. Right? So these are some of the things that you have to ensure. Introduction, discussion, which is the meeting, and then post. But within that, we have these now ploys and skills, techniques being used. Yeah? So we have chosen which skills we can use, which techniques we can use.
No, you are
Hard guy, nice
I would
guy.
have gone with this.
Deadlines, Russian front. Some of us have played deadlines in negotiation. This should happen by that such a date, ensuring that a decision has to be made. Okay? Yes.
I guess that's the point you say, telling the other side that anything you're doing, obviously, can be done.
Yes.
That's the first one. To get the other side, is it side to side?
Side. The idea being to get the other side is to agree.
Deals that do not require
Okay? Okay. So the key thing here is to make sure that they don't take the issues back. Let them make the decision there. Okay? Let the decision be made there. So what you should do is to establish the opposite numbers full responsibilities or their roles in their organizations. Because if they will take the issues back, our problem is it will take time. Yeah? If they would say somebody else has to approve it at our base, at our head office, what if that person says, then it's fine, don't go there again? You see? So what we want is to have a decision to be made right there and then. So you sell in piece and bits, okay? You sell the idea in bits and piece.
So it's like there are 2 points. Either you take the decision back, or they do not take the decision.
Okay, so if the decision is made right there and then, you're good. If the decision is referred to the base, then we're not too sure what is going to come out of there. So in the approval from a higher authority tactic, what we want is, let us settle it here. Not tomorrow. Let us settle it here. Okay? Whosoever has to approve it, let them approve it in that meeting. So we, like what he asked to say, what if the representatives are juniors? So we want people that have high authority, people of caliber, to be in those meetings, the discussions, and the negotiations, so that a decision is made. Any other question? Add-ons. So we said basic deals are only what? Negotiated. Everything else costs more money. So what we're saying is everything that you negotiate is accommodative or is acceptable. If we are not negotiating, it means we'll be put at the corner by the other opponent. Yeah? So we make sure that if we're talking about price, we are able to negotiate. Is that the right price? If we're talking about delivery, we are able to negotiate. Is that the right delivery? Okay? Everything beyond that is a problem if it's not negotiated. So the other issue is to check carefully what you are getting in that contract or discussion. If they are presenting issues, if they are countering, is that appropriate? Is that good for you? If they are telling you that we want to move to 6 weeks, negotiate the 6 weeks. Have reasons why you don't think 6 weeks is okay. Yeah? Any other question? Okay. Are we clear? We'll finish off negotiation next week. There are some other areas. What are the other areas? Okay.
So, when
Yeah.
you say everything else costs money, the advance.
Everything that is non-negotiated costs money, works to your disadvantage. Do you know if you don't ask for a price discount from a vendor, you'll be shocked that the next person who buys the same thing can buy it cheaper?
Just something at the lower price. My friend purchased the same thing,
Eh,
the same time.
at a higher price. So you benefited from your negotiation skills. Procurement principles management. It's there in the library, you can find it. They are being